Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about buying multifamily properties using other people's money and creative financing. Some of the favorite things that I love, that Mel and I love, is buying real estate and using other people's money. So that's what today's going to be about. I'm going to open up the chat here. Do not be shy. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. So if you're new to Mel and I, we have now purchased over 260 units, right? And we do this in 5 different countries, and we use creative financing in all of those countries. So I live in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. So we do it in Canada. We do it in the US. We do it in Costa Rica, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. Now I'm telling you this because you can do this as well, right? You can buy, like, let's say if you do not live in the US and you want to buy in the US, you can absolutely do this as a foreign national, just like we do. Or if you want to buy in Canada or different province, different state, right? It doesn't matter. You can definitely do this. There's a way of doing it, 100%. There's definitely a right way and a wrong way of doing it. But at the end of the day, you can definitely do this. So today I want to talk about different types of other people's money. And then if you guys have questions, again, do not be shy. We're live on all social media platforms. If you are not following us yet on whatever platform you're watching us, please give us a follow, a subscribe, a like. And if you're not following us on multiple different platforms, we do post different content on different platforms, right? We'll have interviews on YouTube, right? We'll have reels on Instagram. So different stuff, different platforms. So make sure that you are following us. It's always at Investor Mel Dave. And if you're interested in buying income properties and doing it with no joint venture partners and with other people's money like we do, then definitely give us a follow, give us a like, give us a sub. So let us know if you have any questions. One of the most common things I get is, especially lately, I'm finding, today I want to talk about interest rate drops. I want to talk about buying in the US as a foreign national and just creative financing in general. So I had it written down here. If you have not heard about the interest rate drops, you must be, hiding or living under a rock, because it's been in the news. It's been highly talked about. So in Canada, I'll start with Canada. I'll talk about the US here as well. So in Canada, this last year, right, in the last 12 months, they basically have dropped the overnight lending rate by 0.75%. So it's been 3 separate drops at 0.25 for a total of 0.75 drop. Mortgage rates are now below 5%, which is very attractive. Okay. And the next announcements from Bank of Canada will actually be October 23rd. So just less than a month from now, right? We're September 25th right now, and December 11th. And the economists, and they're already predicting and announcing, right? Nothing's for sure, nothing's ever 100%, but they're already predicting that there's going to be, what are they calling it? Jumbo cuts or mega cuts, which basically the same thing, but they're predicting there's going to be mega cuts, right? Or jumbo cuts. I forget exactly the wording of hopefully another 1.0. So that's coming up in Canada, which is very, very exciting. I know that Mel and I, the buildings we already have that we're on variable rates, are already, the payments are going down, which means our cash flow is going up. The other beautiful thing, whether you're on fixed payments or variable payments, when interest rates go down, typically evaluations go up, because now the supply and demand, right? The demand goes up because more people can qualify for higher mortgages. So typically those assets actually go up in valuation, right? So I look at my personal net worth every single month, and since the rates have gone down, I've seen my PNW go up. So it's very attractive. Now in the US, right? I think it was last week, September 18th, they had a cut of 0.5, right? So they went a little bit more aggressive than Canada, which is awesome. So they actually, their overnight is 5.33. And the next announcement dates for the Fed is November 7th and December 18th. So pretty cool. Both Canada and the US have 2 more announcements dates in 2024. The economists, the banks are all predicting, right? Fingers crossed that they're going to be doing jumbo cuts on both of those days, so that us investors can continue to make more and more cash flow. And people that are looking at buying, let's say, their first family home, right? They also are able to qualify to purchase a more, I don't want to say more expensive house, but they have more buying power, let's say, because their qualifying will be easier. Someone says, Sweet Escape. Hey, Dave, tell us about your properties acquired with OPM. Yeah, so Sweet Escape, that's literally how Mel and I acquire these properties. So let's just take an example right now. There's a lady who wants to lend us $100,000. She's invested with us numerous times. I love her. Mel loves her. She's great. She wants to invest with us again. So I know there's $100,000 there of other people's money that wants to get invested with us in our next deal. So I know it's there. Okay. Now, what Mel and I are doing is we're trying to find the best deal suitable for multiple different things. So we're investing where returns are best. Okay. We're investing where, in my opinion, is more investor / landlord friendly, right? The different provinces and different states, because they're not all created equal. And then we're also looking for the exit strategy, which is the most important thing. How, right? Anyone can borrow money, anyone can go buy a deal, but it's how do you pay that person back? That's at the forefront of everything that Mel and I do, right? So I'm literally telling this awesome lady that, okay, please wait, because again, I have not found the deal yet that I'll be able to pay you back plus interest that I'm comfortable with, that meets all our criteria. So, and I'm leaning towards either Alberta, or I'm leaning towards Texas, Ohio, or Florida. And we're already investing in that province and those states. So the cool thing is there's also turnkey providers where, like, let me backtrack. Mel and I, we're active investors. We do this all day, every day. We have a huge portfolio. We've got asset managers. We have property managers, right? Because of the scale that we have. The deals that I've done with this turnkey provider have have been the lowest touch point property that I've ever had. Meaning I've spent the least amount of time on this property that I have on any other property. Team, put the link for anyway, as part of the Investor Mel and Dave community, you guys do get different lists and all that, access to this. Put the link to the turnkey provider in the US. I think they're in like 13 or 15 states. So what I'm getting at is, Dave, tell me about your portfolio, what you're buying next. I'm looking at taking that $100,000 from the lady that wants to invest with us. Awesome lady. I'm going to go get pre-qualified at the financial institution, investor focused, creative financing in US financial institutions. Okay. As a foreign national, right? There's different qualifying. So I'm Canadian. I live in Canada. And then I'm going to utilize her funds as my down payment. And I think I might buy a few deals that way. So see how I'm using other people's money here. Sweet Escape. I'm using financing, right? From the mortgage brokers, from the lenders over there, hard money lenders, some of them. And then I'm using funds from Canada to be my downstroke. Now, I'm not just buying any deal. I'm not just saying, hey, which one gives me the most amount of cash flow? Because I know some investors will just go, which one makes me the most cash flow? That's all I care about. That's okay. If you're using your own money and you're okay to leave it in the deal for, however long you're comfortable with, cool. Who's to stop you? But if you're using someone else's money, like Mel and I do, like in this example, the $100,000 that we're going to borrow and do this with, I have to know how I'm going to pay her back. Otherwise, I don't touch the money and I don't touch the deal. So this is exactly what we're doing. Now, again, we're looking in Ohio. Ohio might have higher cash flow with this particular type of purchases. However, it might not appreciate as fast as I want to pay it back. So I might go to Texas or Florida where it might appreciate faster. So anyway, that's what we look at when we're using other people's money. So that's the kind of stuff that Mel and I got going on right now. Lisanne Hinckley says, variable rate with the crying face. You know what? Lisanne, think about it this way, because I'm always looking at things glass half full, right? We've already gone, in my opinion, through the tough or hard period, right, for variable rate mortgages. So we've already gone through the tough part. Now the rates are coming down. So we've gone through the up. Now we're coming through the down. So it should get better for people that have those variable rate mortgages, because you should be seeing the cuts, right? I know I've got a few buildings that have it. One building alone, where Mel and I's office is in, it's a mixed use building. That building alone, was it $400? Every cut was $400. Was it $400 or $500? Let's just be safe and say $400. So let's do the math. So there's been 3 cuts so far. I'm using my calculator here. Okay. I'm not just playing on my phone. So every cut was $400, right? And there's been 3 cuts. So 400 times 3, $1,200. Quick math times 12, right? 14,400, basically $15,000, that building alone, with these 3 interest rate cuts in Canada. This one's in Canada. That's how much more money we're making with that one building alone per year. Okay. So again, if you've been in a variable, at least we're on the decline now with the interest rates. Okay. We've gone through the tough time. Southern man, can you use RSPs to buy a rental property? Yes. If you are in Canada, you can use your own RRSPs, TFSAs, Lira to buy in the US or Costa Rica. If you're in Canada, you can use someone else's RSPs, registered funds, to buy an income producing asset. If you're in the US, you can use someone else's 401k Roth IRA to buy an income property. Or if you want to use your own, you can buy in like Costa Rica, things like that. So yes, we can definitely show you. We actually have a webinar on this tomorrow. I'm going to be going live same time tomorrow, noon Eastern time. I'm going to be analyzing 4 or 5 deals with you, talking about different creative financing. If you join the webinar, you actually get Mel and I's free ebook. Team, put the link for the webinar, please. What was I going to say? Oh, let me put this here. That's for the turnkey deals. You guys get the exclusive list. But team, put the link for our webinar. It's going to be live with me, probably here in our dining room here. I like chilling here in front of the rock wall. But yeah, even if you can't make it, if you're like, David, that doesn't work tomorrow at noon for me, cool. Sign up. You're going to get the replay, right? You can watch it at any time, anywhere. And you're also going to get our Amazon best-selling book. Sorry, one of our Amazon best-selling books, okay? And team will put the link here for that link to register. Where to go? How about in Yonkers, New York? Yeah. Daughter of a King 73. And I like your name. Yeah, you can do it in New York. Now, okay. Daughter of a King 73. And I'll just say your full name, so that's what we have. You can do it in New York. That being said, just so you know, in my opinion, the state of New York is a tenant-friendly state. Same like California. Okay. In Canada, it's British Columbia and Ontario that are the most tenant-friendly states, right? Which is fine. Mel and I have made millions of dollars in Ontario with it being a tenant-friendly province, which is fine. Okay, I'm not saying don't do it there. It's just more and more Mel and I like to position our portfolio in provinces such as like Alberta, which is landlord and investor-friendly, Texas, Florida, Ohio, which are more landlord and investor-friendly. So there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just giving you a tidbit of advice. Yeah, but you can definitely do it in New York, 100%. Refund reliable. What's your strategy to get OPM? Yes, raising funds. Actually, I like that you asked this, and I want to talk about raising funds in general. Like, people always think I'm going to need to find like 20 or 30 people, and it has to be, millionaires, or it has to be, I got to go to the golf and country club. I got to rub elbows with whoever, you know what I mean? So their team just put it. So DM us the word webinar and we'll give you the link for tomorrow. Okay. Whatever platform you're on, DM us the word webinar and you will get the link, and you will get, if you attend, or whether you attend or not, you'll get our free Amazon best-selling ebook. But I want you to watch the replay because, actually, no, I think you have to attend. Attend it, you stay to the end, and that's when you get the book. What was I going to say? But there's tons of learning in there. We analyzed 5 deals. There's tons of nuggets. So even for your own learning, definitely check it out. Something else I was going to say. Oh, you don't need like 20 or 30 different private lenders. And that's something I've learned over the years. So you can have maybe like 1 or 2 in the beginning. And, once you get into a deal with other people's money and creative financing, you execute your plan, execute your plan, and have the exit strategy and pay them back. Those people are going to be chomping at the bit to go, hey, you had a plan, you executed it, you paid me back my money, and you did it with interest. Take my money, let's do it again. And that's what we do. So it's not like we have these dozens and dozens and dozens of private lenders. It's we treat our private lenders very well. We pay them very well, and we recycle their money over and over. We make it a win-win. They have a solid person to invest in. They make a good return. We have someone that we know trusts us and will lend us the funds again. So yeah, don't feel you have to find a bunch of people, okay? Noah, how much of your own money would you need to start in rental properties? Like, I don't like giving it depends answer, Noah, but like it does depend. So, for example, are you buying somewhere where it's $1 million a door, right? And there's land transfer fees and there's different types of things like that. Or are you buying, like for example, Mel and I, the triplex that we bought in Ohio, in Akron, Ohio, in June or July, I think June. We paid $72,000 for a triplex. That's like what, 21 or $24,000 a door. So the closing costs and all the funds needed for that one, Noah, were definitely a lot lower than, let's say, the buildings we're purchasing for 3.2 million. So it depends which province or state you're in. It depends how much the asset is. Is it a single family? Is it a multifamily? So all of that stuff will depend. Um, there you go. There's a link to register for tomorrow's webinar. Lisa, how do you find those people? We haven't found anyone. Lisa, are you part of the Action family? Lisanne or Linda? There's three names there. I just want to make sure. Are you part of the Action family? I just want to see. Lisa, I'll wait till you answer that first. Noah, we're looking to start in the down south or Midwest. Is that a good place to start? Yes. Okay, so you're looking in the States. Noah, check out that link. Like DM us the word deals to get that. We have a list for the Investor Mel and Dave community. They're in like 13 different states. They're turnkey. It's super easy. Excuse me. Check it out. Maybe team send that link directly to Noah on Facebook. I know we're live on multiple platforms. Send it directly to Noah for that turnkey provider list, because they have in the Midwest, they have in like the Rust Belt. So definitely check it out, Noah. Lisanne, no, I'm not. Okay. So Lisanne, what I was going to say is finding those people. Because your question was, how do we find those people? We haven't found anyone who wants to invest their money in real estate. People are too scared. Ontario. And yes, are there people that are going to be scared? I agree with you. Are there people that are going to be skeptical? Yes, I agree with you. However, this is where Mel and I love to use the tools and the resources that we've come up with. Okay. So let me backtrack here and talk about our cash flow analysis matrix. We've actually had this trademarked a few years ago now. This is the tool that we use for all of our deals, whether it's a single family home, a condo, a duplex, a triplex, 5 units or over, our 50 unit, our mixed use buildings, meaning like we have 18 residential up top, we have 5 commercial units on the bottom, whether it's strictly commercial tenants, short-term rentals. This is the tool that we use. And Lisanne, I promise I have a point here. But this is literally what we use, because it's a tool that, okay, we put the numbers in the cash flow analysis matrix and it basically spits out whether it's a good deal or not, right? It's a plug and play. So it'll show us, is the deal good, right? Does it make sense? Does it have cash flow? Are the ratios there? Is it underwritten and stress test accordingly, like the self-sustained test, all of that stuff? Does the deal make sense, just like the banks look at it? So should you even buy it in the first place? Then on the other side of the cash flow analysis matrix is the exit strategy, right? How are you paying back, like you said, that private lender on time and with interest? So when we're raising capital, because some people will think it's these fancy spreadsheets and it's pictures and it's, hey, look at me. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying pitch decks are bad or anything like that. But Mel and I have been doing this now for a combined 25 plus years. Okay. We've bought over 260 units in 5 countries. People want to know the brass tacks, right? People are like, okay, Dave, cool. You showed me the pictures. You showed me the renos you've done. Let's talk about this deal. What are you doing to this deal, and how much money are you going to make, and how are you going to pay me back? And I'm like, thank you. Let's circle back to the numbers. And then boom, here's why I'm buying it in quadrant number 1. Here's how I'm paying you back in quadrant number 3. Because at the end of the day, private lenders, what do they care about? They want to know what they're investing in, how you're going to pay them back, and how much money they're going to make. Okay. And that's what we like to solve with our cash flow analysis matrix. So honestly, Lisanne, Linda, excuse me, it might just be the way you're, please don't take this the wrong way. It might just be that if they're not lending or they're scared, it's because you're not showing them how to pay them back. And they're just not closing that loop in their mind. Like, but how are you paying me back? I know, like, you know what I mean? It's just staying an open loop. And that's probably one of the concerns. And that's why I love when I show my lenders or private lenders, like, hey, here's the deal. Here's how I'm paying you back. And it's in the wheelhouse of what you like to invest in. So good question, though, Lynn. Let me know if that makes sense. Sweet Escape, what exactly do you guys teach on the webinar? Yes, we're going to talk about using seller financing, so vendor take-back deals where the seller holds a mortgage. We're going to talk about agreement for sale deals or wrap mortgages in the US. We're going to talk about using people's registered / retirement funds. Okay, so in Canada, RRSPs, in the States, 401ks. And then we're also going to talk about using promissory notes the right way, right? Because it can be considered a security depending which province or state you're in. So we talk about all that. We'll talk about the exit strategy. How do you pay people back? We analyze 4 or 5 deals. We actually show you a flip that we did in Costa Rica. So yeah, lots of different things that we talk about on the webinar. And like I said, if you attend the webinar, you do get, we send to you for free our Amazon best-selling ebook, okay? It was a multiple time bestseller. It was cool. I know Mel and I, like, we wrote the book and then we're like, oh gosh, do we know, we were kind of nervous. And then within the first day or the first week, I forget what it was like, hey, it became anime. So pretty cool. And you get that if you join the webinar. And if you can't click the link, you guys, just DM us the word webinar and we'll give you the link for tomorrow. Okay. I go live tomorrow at noon. Or if you're watching this a week later and you're like, Dave, I missed the webinar. Like, oh my gosh, I'm watching this on YouTube after, or whatever it is, just DM us. Just say, hey, I saw this video a year later, whatever it is. Just DM us and say, hey, I'm interested. What do Mel and Dave teach? What was the webinar about? And we'll send you a replay. It's all good. Mel and I are not going anywhere. Lisa, about using RSPs, how does it work where they can have to pay tax on that amount once it comes out? Is that in the deal too? Yes. So when people use, let's just talk general. So whether it's Canada or the US. So in Canada, you're using RRSPs, TFSAs, LIRA, locked-in retirement account. And in the US, it's 401k and Roth IRAs. Okay, same difference. It's just registered funds, retirement funds, same concept. Okay. They are not pulling out that money because that would defeat the purpose, right? If they pull it out, I think they pay like, guys, I'm not an accountant here, like 40 or higher percent tax. Again, don't take this as legal or accounting advice because I'm neither. I'm not a lawyer, an accountant, or CPA or attorney. But they don't pull it out. Okay, so the ones that we've done, they leave it in the actual RRSP or 401k, bubble or umbrella, whatever you want to call it. They invest in your deal in the form of a mortgage. Okay, so it does not come out of the registered or retirement fund, umbrella, bubble, whatever you want to call it. There's something I'm visual. And they invest, it has to be in the form of a mortgage, right? Because it's federally mandated, it has to be an actual mortgage. Now, just like, let's say you had money in your RSPs or you had money in your 401k and I don't know, you were investing it in the stock market. Any money that you make or any interest that you make on it comes back, but goes back into the registered / retirement fund account. So you're not paying taxes on it now because it's going back. That's the whole point of it, right? Is that it can grow tax-free until you're like 60 or 65, depending. Again, I'm not the pro on that. Same thing with using it for real estate. So every month when you're paying back the private lender, your principal plus interest or whatever you've decided to work out, yeah, they're getting the money back, but it's going back into their registered / retirement account so that they can continue to get that tax-free, just like they would if they were investing in like a mutual fund or a stock. So it's the same difference. It's just instead of investing in the stock market or mutual funds and getting that money back tax-free that they can't touch yet, they're investing it in a mortgage and they have the same security as the bank in the form of a mortgage. So again, just my opinion, but like when I quit the fire department, I used to be a full-time professional firefighter with the city of Ottawa and then the city of North Bay. When I quit, retired, whatever you want to call it, they gave me my pension in the form of a locked-in retirement account, a LIRA. I invest that in, real estate mortgages, right? Just like I raise other funds, I invested in mortgages. So every month I'm getting money back, principal and interest, but it goes into there. I can't touch it till I'm 65 anyway. So that's how it works, Lisa. Let me know if that makes sense. How do you manage your properties in Costa Rica? Everything is managed by property managers. So Mel and I don't manage any of our assets. Okay, we used to be very hands-on. We used to have our own property management company. So Mel and I used to we used to manage all of our own deals. We had 76 units. So Mel and I had, at that time, we had 76 units. We both were working 3 full-time jobs, 3 kids, 2 dogs. It was bonkers, right? It was absolutely bonkers. Then we decided if we want to keep buying real estate, we cannot keep I didn't even know how we did it. Now that I look back, I'm like, oof, I don't know how I didn't have a nervous breakdown, right? 76 units, 3 jobs each. But anyway, it made us who we are now. And now I can help people and show them what to do and what not to do. So then we created a property management company. We hired employees, right? Hired a bunch of people, a team. And then we started managing up to 350 units. So we had 350 units, assets under management, right? With our property management team. And then now we've decided we completely outsource everything. So even in Canada, even in US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican, we have property management in place and we just receive reports. So Costa Rica, I get my monthly report. I'm in a portal too. It tells me, like yesterday, it just told me, hey, Dave, the month of October has 3, because it's short-term rentals there, right? Costa Rica, it's a vacation destination. So it's short-term rentals there. They said, hey, Dave, you got 3 new bookings for the month of October. Cool. The property manager will let me know once everything's done. They take care of it. So I just manage the managers now. Where'd it go? Lisa, no, I'm confused. Is this in the webinar? Yeah, we talk about this in the webinar. For example, if we pull from my husband's RSPs for the down payment, it has to be arm's length. So you can't use, a family member, a mom, a dad, just so you know, we have to pay tax on that to get the funds. Nope. And yeah, at least honestly, come to the webinar. And guys, anything that I talk about, you might be like, oh my gosh, what is Dave saying? I get it. Like I know I'm doing a short live today. Oh my gosh, it's 12:30. I'm doing a short live today. And don't feel like, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is he talking? You can do a mortgage with an RSP. Like, what is he talking about? If it's not clicking, don't be hard on yourself, because again, it doesn't just click like that. And that's why Mel and I have the Action Family Mentoring Program, right? We have over 2,100 members now. And that's where we show people how to do this, right? Mel and I show people how they can do it, just like we've done. We've been doing it for a combined 25 years now. So honestly, Lisa, and anyone else that you're like, I think I get it, we'll talk about it more on the webinar tomorrow. And even if you can't make the webinar, sign up and you'll get the replay as well. So Lisa, I know you put the laughing faces. At least I get that all the time. Whenever we start talking creative financing and other people's money, especially in the beginning, it's like, man, that sounds, I remember, okay, let's backtrack. When Mel and I, we were first learning about creative financing and other people's money. So I'll just go into story mode here. We were dealing with a mortgage broker, love him, still love him. I had a coffee with him a few months ago. He's a great guy. He's kind of niched down to different things, so we don't really do business together, but he's the one that really helped us start out with creative financing in the beginning. Todd Skiz, I call him. Love that guy. So Todd, for years and years, right? Because Mel and I, she worked at the college. I was a firefighter. We kept saving up money, kept buying a building, wait a year or two for it to go up, refinance, and buying another building. And he kept telling us about other people. He's like, guys, other people are buying buildings. You guys know what you're doing. You're just not doing it fast enough because you keep waiting for your own money. And he kept telling us, like, this other guy just came in. He bought 4 buildings in the last month. And we're like, what do you mean they're buying all these buildings? So he introduced us to people, and some from different places, from hours away and all that. And some that had been successful, some that had lost some places, right? And there's no judging here. It's not good or bad. It was just what we started seeing and noticing. And that, how I was talking about the exit strategy, and Mel and I are obsessed with the exit strategy, is because we started noticing, where were the cracks in the infrastructure? Where were the cracks in the process? And we were saying, okay, people can raise capital, they can buy a lot of deals, but then, like, where's the end game? What's the process over here to pay people back? And we started seeing over and over and over again, like, this was the issue over here. Anyone can say they can do a good deal. Anyone can raise money, but then how do you actually, proof in the pudding, pay someone back? So more and more, that's where the cash flow matrix, the cash flow analysis matrix, right, that we've had trademarked, was born. And that's when our processes came up, because as much as we wanted to borrow other people's money, I was like, yes, let's go. Mel was scared, right? Mel was like, is this backdoor money? Is this mafia? Is this Hell's Angels? Like, what are we getting into? So we have 3 kids, right? We had to make sure that everything is solid, everything is above board, and that we know how we're going to pay people back. Because I don't want to not pay someone back. I don't want to borrow someone's money, someone's retirement money, and not pay them back and ruin their lives. Like, no, thank you, right? That doesn't do anyone any good. So that's literally where our exit strategies and our processes were born. And that's why we do it in the beginning. If we can't exit the deal, we don't touch the deal. We don't touch the deal whatsoever. Exit before you enter. And that's where our processes came, because everyone was relying on the market to continue to do this and interest rates to continue to do this or do this. Guys, we've all seen it. But what did we just see in the last 2 years? We saw interest rates go like this. Okay. And we saw prices either do this, or we saw some prices go like this. So if that was your strategy, if that was your way of paying people back, you didn't pay people back. You know what I mean? So that's why it cannot be. And that's what we teach, is how to not bank on things that no one can control, like interest rates and the market. Okay. And again, guys, if what I'm talking about doesn't make sense right now, this is why we have the webinars. We go more in depth. It's going to be like an hour. Like I'm going to be presenting for an hour, slides. Like I'm visual, I need to see stuff. So we'll be having some slides. We'll break down the deals. We'll have the mortgages, all that. We'll have the lifts. We'll have the refinances, all that. You'll see the numbers. You'll see the exit strategies. Lots of pictures. Show you some flips. Again, the one in Costa Rica. So yeah, if you're interested, join the webinar tomorrow live, 12 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, September 26th. If you're watching this after the fact and you're like, Dave, it's Friday, September 27th, and I missed it, just send the team a DM saying, hey, I'd like to see the webinar replay. Thanks, Dave, for clarifying. I will attend tomorrow. Boom. I love it. So I think I missed a question earlier. Oh, joint venture partner. Okay. So joint venture partners. Now, there's nothing wrong with JVs. Okay. Joint venture partners are basically where, someone comes with the money, some does the work, they own it 50-50 and everything is split 50-50. I'm not the expert in that because I don't necessarily do them. Okay. Now, why don't Mel and I do joint ventures? So 2 things. I remember when we were getting started out, when we wanted to scale a portfolio, everyone told us, Dave, the only way you'll be able to scale is if you use joint venture partners or partners in general. And Mel and I looked at each other and we said, we don't want partners. And there's nothing wrong with partners. We know our personalities. I don't want to give someone else 50% of what I'm working for. It's just not how I'm built, right? So with the way that Mel and I do it without joint ventures, you can still scale a portfolio. You're still using other people's money, right? Without giving them equity. So in a joint venture, you're using someone else's money, but then boom, you're 50-50 on the deal. With using other people's money, it's, okay, I'm using your funds. Mel and I solely own it. And we pay them a healthy interest rate, right? It's a fixed rate. It's all negotiated up front. It has to make sense. The deal has to be able to support it. And at the end of the day, whether we made a lot of money, a little money, that is what you make, and it ends there, right? And our private lenders are very happy with it. Like, yeah, Dave, no, I don't want to co-own with you. I want to give you my money. I want you to give me a healthy return and pay me back, and let's do it again. Right? They're not looking at owning the building with me. They have zero desire to be an investor. They just want to be a private lender. So that's what Mel and I do. We teach other investors to do just like us. Now, why do I like it? I want to keep 100% of the decision-making, right? And Mel will tell you more than I will. She'll be like, the only person I want to deal with is Dave. It's a handful enough. 100% of the cash flow, the appreciation, all of that. That's why Mel and I solely own. And that's what we show our Action family how to do. So if that's something that's of interest to you, then the webinar will definitely be valuable for your learning in this real estate investing journey. Refund reliable 3.75 is now 4.99. New builds are higher in Texas. You mean for the interest rates? Is that what you're saying for new builds? And that's the thing. So think about this. Like, this is the I don't know, fun. I think it's fun. This is the interesting part when you look at real estate, right? When you're looking at write-offs, when you're looking at evaluations. Like, I love meeting with the accountants, CPAs. I love meeting with the lawyers and the attorneys. So for example, if you're comparing two states, and again, I want you to talk to your accountants and your CPAs. Land in Florida, like let's say you buy, let's make it up. I don't know. Let's say you buy a duplex in Florida for 500, and I'm just making up numbers here, guys. So don't say, hey, Dave, where is this and all that. Let's say you buy a duplex in Florida for 500K, and you buy a duplex in Texas for 500K. Typically, most likely, the duplex in Florida, the $500,000 that you paid, the land is going to be a higher portion of that 500K in Florida. Whereas in Texas, the land is going to be a much lower portion of that. And why does that matter? Okay, when you're looking, and I'm getting into the weeds here, which I don't want to get too much because I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer, but I can't stress that enough. When you're looking at tax plays in that, for depreciate, like land does not depreciate, right? So if the total purchase price is more land than asset or less land than asset, again, it's going to come into play when you're looking at different tax plays. So again, it's not just, hey, looking at a deal. There's also a holistic way of looking at real estate. Someone had said earlier, does it work in New York? Yes, it does. But again, there's a whole way of looking at it if you're looking from the tax strategy perspective, right? Because a lot of people will come to me and let's say they make a lot of, like I have people that make not a lot of money and they want to buy real estate to make income, right? To help them make more money. I have some people that make a lot of money and they need to put it into real estate in order to make the tax, the CRA or the IRS go away. So it just depends. And there's no right or wrong here. Like I've got self-employed people that come to me like, Dave, actually, I was speaking to a gentleman yesterday I won't say his name, in Alberta. I think he said he makes like 300 to 500K. That's in his active business, right? Like, so there's ways that you can take that in your active business, put in your passive real estate portfolio. Anyway, it ends up becoming like the game of Monopoly in real life. And that's what's fun about it. Every week I meet with the accountants and we talk about different strategies and the financial controllers and how can we do things above board, legal, moral, ethical, everything above board. And so it's fun. It's cool. So if anyone here is interested, the link is there. DM us the word webinar. We will send you the link for tomorrow. I'll be going live tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. So noon Eastern time. Again, if you cannot make it, you will get the replay link. You do get also our Amazon best-selling ebook. That was the first book that Mel and I ever wrote. We since have 3 Amazon so Mel has 3 Amazon bestsellers. I only have 2 because she did a woman book that I was not invited to. But yeah, hopefully you can be there. If you're watching it after the fact, it's all good. Just send us a message. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap up. I want to come on live, talk about some creative financing. If for any reason you have any questions or you want to reach out to Mel and I, just send us a DM on any platform that you were on. We have trainings and different things, free content for you as well. So don't be shy. And I guess, enjoy the rest of your day.